Hey everyone, welcome back to Digital Learning, your go-to spot for everything digital. Here we cover the latest crypto news, market trends, and deep dive tutorials to help you stay ahead in the digital world. Whether you're into Bitcoin, Ethereum, blockchain updates, or want to learn tools like CapCut, Canva, AI tools, and more, in today's video, we're breaking down the biggest stories shaking up the crypto market, from regulatory changes and ETF updates to major moves by institutions and governments. So, if you want to stay informed and level up your digital skills, you're in the right place. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Now, let's dive into the news. Crypto longs liquidated amid market downturn. Mass liquidation event. Over $731 million in leveraged crypto positions were liquidated within 24 hours. A staggering 85% of these were long positions, bets on rising prices, wiped out as the market suddenly turned downwards. 2. Bitcoin and Ethereum losses. Bitcoin BTC saw $140 million in long liquidations as prices dipped roughly 2.6%, falling below $116,000. Ethereum had about $105 million in long positions wiped out as it slipped more than 1.3%. 3. Market mechanics behind the crash. Traders are calling this a pure leverage flush. Late buyers of altcoins and ETH were caught off guard, triggering cascading liquidations. 4. Sentiment and momentum. Despite the massive sell-off, market sentiment remains cautiously optimistic. Analysts still see upside potential for asset like Bitcoin, with targets ranging between $140,000 and $200,000 in some projections. Satoshi-era whale awakens, transfers almost $1 billion in Bitcoin to Galaxy Digital. A long-dormant Bitcoin wallet that hadn't moved funds in over 14 years, dating back to the Satoshi era, has unexpectedly transferred approximately 8,500 BTC, which is about $1 billion, to Galaxy Digital. This is the first transaction from that wallet since around 2011, stirring intense speculation across the crypto world about the wallet's origin and intentions. The transfer likely went through an OTC or over-the-counter deal to minimize market impact, which is a typical strategy for large transactions. Market reaction was immediate and sharp. Bitcoin dropped roughly 4%, falling from a high of about $123,000 to just above $116,000. This triggered over $400 million in leveraged longs liquidations within hours. Ethereum ETFs turn the corner. Massive growth and institutional adoption. Just a year ago, Ethereum ETFs were struggling with low demand and heavy outflows. Fast forward to mid-2025, they're booming. Record inflows. In June 2025, ETH ETFs saw $3.5 billion in inflows, a 70% jump from previous highs. July is even stronger, with 10 consecutive weeks of net inflows, a first in its history. Total AUM has doubled in 2 months, now over $19 billion. Big institutions joining in. SharpLink Gaming became the first U.S. company to add ETH to reserves, now holding 360,807 ETH, $1.3 billion. Bitcoin miner Bitmine Immersion is competing, holding 300,000 plus ETH and planning to stake 5% of the ETH supply. ARK Invest and billionaire Peter Thiel are backing Ethereum-focused firms. Staking is the game changer. Current ETFs do not include staking yet. If approved, ETFs could offer 3 to 5% yields, making ETH a digital bond for pension funds and institutions. BlackRock has already filed amendments for staking-enabled ETFs. Approval could come in Q4 2025. Why this matters? ETFs and reserve asset strategies lock ETH's supply, reducing circulation and creating upward price pressure. ETH combines scarcity, yield, and utility, unlike Bitcoin, which is mainly seen as digital gold. Price impact. ETH has surged 150% in 3 months, recently hitting new 2025 highs, and the trend could continue if institutional demand and staking approval accelerate. stablecoin supply projected to grow by up to $75 billion. The Genius Act, now signed into law, establishes a federal regulatory framework for U.S. stablecoins backed one-to-one with liquid assets such as U.S. dollars or Treasury bills. Bank of America projects that this regulatory clarity will drive a near-term increase of $25 to $75 billion in stablecoin supply. Stablecoins will become more widely adopted as institutions can now confidently issue products due to clear legal guidance under the Genius Act. Tokenized assets on blockchain-based money market instruments are expected to fuel demand further. Broader market outlook. While near-term growth is estimated at $25 to $75 billion, Standard Chartered forecasts long-term stablecoin supply could soar to $2 trillion by 2028, driven by expanded adoption and institutional demand. This expansion could add roughly $1.6 trillion in demand for U.S. Treasury bills as issuers back tokens with government securities. Why this is bullish? The law provides legitimacy, compliance pathways, and confidence for banks and fintechs to issue stablecoins. Growing stablecoin supply supports broader tokenization and liquidity across markets. Increased backing via treasuries strengthens ties between crypto and traditional finance. Big news from Washington, D.C. U.S. President Donald Trump just met Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, and what happened inside that meeting could have massive implications for the economy, interest rates, and even cryptocurrency markets. Trump criticized the Fed's $3.1 billion renovation costs. Powell defended the budget, saying some costs were unrelated projects. The big focus? Interest rate cuts. Trump has been pushing hard for lower interest rates to boost the economy. After the meeting, he said it was very productive and hinted that Powell might cut rates soon. But Powell didn't commit. He said it depends on the economic data. If the Fed cuts rates, borrowing becomes cheaper, the dollar weakens, and risk assets like stocks and crypto usually go up. But if Trump keeps pressuring Powell or replaces him, it could shake investor confidence and cause market volatility. So what do you think? Will Powell hold his ground, or will Trump get his way and bring rates down? So here's the bottom line. The crypto world is moving fast, from regulatory changes and ETFs gaining traction to major policy shifts like the Genius Act and even big political moves like Trump meeting Powell. All of this signals one thing. Crypto is no longer on the sidelines. It's becoming part of the global financial system. Whether it's Ethereum aiming for new highs, Bitcoin reacting to interest rate news, or stablecoins getting mainstream approval, we're entering a new era of adoption. But remember, this space is volatile and things can change overnight. Always do your own research and never invest more than you can afford to lose. If you enjoyed this update, smash that like button, subscribe for more crypto insights, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next big move. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.